Shiny hunting is cool and all, but what if the Pokemon ran away? Every year in the summer, shiny hunters and Pokemon fans around the world get together to participate in a community-driven event known as Safari Week. It takes place in the Safari Zone, any of them actually, be it Pokemon Emerald, Soul Silver, or even Brilliant Diamond. Throughout my years of playing Pokemon, I never really actively tried catching in the Safari Zone itself. It was always an afterthought in the post-game until I needed to complete my Pokedex. Needless to say, I was quite neglectful of the establishment that Calzone had created.
My name is Calzone. I'm 43 years old. World's #1 Oddish fan.
But Safari Week is an event I have only been aware of since I started actively shiny hunting last year and around 2023. But I was far too nervous during both of those years to even participate. My reasoning being, I didn't know if I had the patience to tough out the hundreds of thousands of encounters that I would have to endure. But with the help of obsessively playing Pokemon for the past year, I thought why not go ahead and clear my schedule a bit to just casually hunt for some sparkly pocket monsters by myself. In the zone. I have quite the collection of games, but I decided that this year, since I just got my Nintendo Switch 2, I now had another console to use. So with 2 capture cards, a copy of Brilliant Diamond, and Shining Pearl ready to go, I hunted in the chipified version of Sinnoh in hopes of finding a shiny friend. But I really wasn't prepared. Who was I gonna hunt? My targets were pretty all over, but ones that I really wanted were Marill, Krogunk, or Wooper. Out of all the Pokemon, Wooper genuinely was the one I wanted the most. I mean, come on. Look at this little goober. These games use the shiny odds of 1 in 4096 for finding said shiny, and each Safari Zone does have a step limit of 500, so I use an out-of-battle ability called Sweet Scent to make Pokemon run to me. Trust me, this saves so much time in the long haul. So with all the prep work done, I set up both games and began Safari Week 2025. Day 1 was filled with encounter after encounter. To kick things off, I streamed a bit of the hunt live, though no shinies showed up, of course. That didn't stop me from filling the silence by rambling for well over an hour about Deltarune lore and unhinged theories I've probably repeated a dozen times. I think some viewers stayed just for that. In the Great Marsh, which is basically Sinnoh's version of the Safari Zone, I decided to stick to one area and just pray that the Pokemon I wanted would spawn frequently. If not, I'd rotate to the next area, rinse and repeat. It was kind of methodical, but also just a roll of the dice every time. Still, a few rare spawns did make an appearance, like Kangaskhan, only available after finishing the main story, and since only one of my files was in the post-game, the odds weren't exactly in my favor. After over a month of waiting for a Slowpoke to sparkle within the Isle of Armor, being back on 2 systems made everything feel alive. Even though I only got about 2 hours of real hunting in, I didn't mind. I treated day 1 as a warm-up and then immediately hopped off to go fight the really fun boss in Deltarune Chapter 3. If you know, you know. Somehow I already have 65 hours in this game. Huh. I will say using Sweet Scent was a brilliant choice. It let me push over 300 to 400 encounters per hour between both games. Everything was moving fast and it felt like I was back in the rhythm again. Sure, I could have pushed for more time, more consistency, but coming back to shiny hunting after a small break and after juggling it with life and everything else, yeah, it was pretty good. Day 2 is when things really started to kick in. I was up bright and early, 7 AM, which is borderline rare for me. And the first thing I did was hang out with Winston, who is my lovely corgi who I adore, and immediately turned into a gremlin the moment I grabbed his ball.
Can I get the ball? Bring it. Can you get the ball?
I sat down, locked in, and committed to hunting for the day. I had every intention of making serious progress, but real life had other plans. Responsibilities kept yanking me away from my hunting, whether it was chores, calls, or needing to actually eat food. Still, I managed to carve out a few solid hours of focused hunting, and that effort paid off. I hit odds, and that is really satisfying. And by satisfying, does this place even have shiny Pokemon? Please help. Despite the progress, I could already feel the slight regret creeping in. I didn't prep enough games. You'd think after 2 years of shiny hunting and replaying all of the games I grew up with that I would use some of these games during the Safari Week hunts. I, however, did not, and I almost wish I did because, man, some people have some wild setups. Day 2 might have been some really focused hunting and hitting odds, but don't worry, maybe a shiny will be found on day 3. Day 3 started off a little different. Instead of jumping right back into the marsh grind, I decided to take a detour. A real world detour. We grabbed some food, hung out for a while, and honestly, after being cooped up in my room for nearly 48 hours straight, not literally, it felt good to just touch grass, breathe actual outdoor air. Sure, the voice in the back of my head was whispering, you could be double hunting right now, but sometimes a mental reset is worth more than a few hundred encounters. Once I got back home later in the evening, I did go ahead and get some extra encounters in, but I genuinely was just really tired from doing stuff all day. So I migrated from a measly desk chair to the bed. Yeah, this is my humble abode. At this point though, I will admit I was getting antsy. I really wanted to go and see maybe one shiny Pokemon, especially when you go on Twitter and you immediately go through the Safari Week hashtag and see nothing but shinies all across the board from various people, some saying it's their 13th shiny within the 3rd day. You start to get a little jealous, and I was trying to keep myself composed deep down. I was very new to this whole Safari Week extravaganza, and while it is a cooperative, community-driven event, I wanted to at least feel like I could contribute one shiny friend to this giant collage of shiny Pokemon that we all were inadvertently creating. Maybe the real friends were the full odds we made along the way. So on day 4, I spent some genuine time getting encounters on my Switch OLED, whilst also trying out the Switch 2 upgrade to Pokemon Scarlet. I was already massively hooked on this game, to a point where it was being played more than even a Switch 2 launch title, Mario Kart World, and it was simply just due to the performance enhancements, especially when you compare it from Switch 1 to Switch 2, man, it's amazing. So why do I talk about this on Safari Week? Well, I think I'll let the footage give you an answer. Dude, if I phase in another Hoppip, that would be fucking stupid.
What would you call it?
Mistake.
No.
I like Hoppip. I mean, I can't complain. I do like Hoppip. Hooray for yet another phase. Just aimlessly running around. Dude, these things constantly, at full odds, these things like to hang out. I swear. Welcome, Hoppip. Hello.
What are you naming it?
It's a male Hoppip. I don't know. I'm gonna catch this one in... just a normal Pokeball. I don't got much. I got a choice. Uh-oh. Trying to strive for it, but this is still cool. I'm not complaining at all. I can't believe another one.
Bop it.
Yeah, bop it. All right, yeah. Bop it. No, bop it. Here you go. Welcome to the
What?
Well.
Hey, you.
I took the days I had where my hunts were slow or non-existent to heart and took the entire day to stake out in the Great Marsh, going full non-verbal and binging YouTube. After over 7,000 encounters, roughly, this happened. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god, the shiny barrel! What? What? What the? Oh, okay. A shiny barrel. First shiny of Safari Week. Ow. Okay, and it was on my brilliant diamond. Let's see if it's a catch or a fail. Oh, out the ball. Watching carefully. Okay. My first Safari shiny. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I was so worried. I was so worried. I've seen horror stories of failing shinies, but regardless, it's a rush because it's just, you literally have such limited options, but there we go. Coffee percent. Coffee percent. Welcome, Coffee percent. I can't think of a better name. There you go. Ooh. You got a mild, it's in a Safari Ball, it's got an unaware ability. I don't really intend to really use B-Barrel. Like, I don't think I've ever really used a B-Barrel, but I might just have Coffee percent here on the team because I do like Bidoof and B-Barrel. So, what a cool find. So after standing in the odds and bracing myself to possibly have no Safari Week shiny, something finally decided to shine. B-Barrel wasn't my designated target, but one that I was totally okay with adding to the squad. They are a very subtle shiny, but one I definitely won't forget. I remember I felt so relieved after this, seeing as how others were getting shinies left, right, and center using the equivalent of a government-grade amount of Game Boys. Seriously, look at how many they have. I wish that were me. Me and my 2 switches, though, did something right on day 5, and I could not be happier. So on day 6, I took a genuine break from hunting. I was pretty much ready to hop on some games that I was meaning to play for a while, and do some other stuff. Wait, why is the screen black? Why is the music ominous? I got a shiny. That should be enough, right? Right? If there's one thing I know about shiny hunting, it is similar to the book I loved as a child called If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. So, if you give me a shiny Pokemon, well, I'm gonna want another. So for 6 days, I claimed to be taking a break to do more than just Safari Week hunts. I hit overtime. The last phase being over 7,000 encounters in a 1 in 4,096 game was already a low blow, but having it happen twice was something else. A lot of shiny hunters will finish off their respective hunts during events like these. Doesn't matter how over odds they get, it happens even to the most seasoned of hunters. I thought of how upsetting this video would have been if I only just had one B-Barrel to show for it. But the odds remained unwavering, unmoving, until finally we have the butt of shiny number 2. Yet another shiny B-Barrel, but this time on my Shining Pearl, actually, not my Brilliant Diamond. So we actually each game got one shiny during Safari Week. So you know, we'll go ahead and see if we catch this thing. I don't know if I will. We'll go ahead and see. I just gotta remember which Joy-Con I'm using. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and just ball.
Ooh. Watching carefully. Ooh. Still watching carefully? Okay. Aww. Man, that's the feeling. That's that Safari Week feeling. That is that Safari Week feeling. Oh, okay. Well.
Safari Week was a very interesting experience the first time around. While in my opinion, I came underprepared, but I still had fun. I was able to make a few friends along the way from my 2 streams at the event. I rushed my prep, and while only hunting off of 2 games, I truly enjoyed the grind as much as I could have. In total, I hunted for about 100 or so hours, and while my first shiny took over 7,000 encounters, the second one took over 12,000. This puts me at almost 20,000 in 2 games where the odds are 1 in 4096. Better luck next time. One shiny barrel and the other running away is not exactly the most ideal Safari Week shiny haul, and having an additional 2 Hoppip and Scarlet was also where a majority of the luck probably went. So in total there was about 4 shinies, technically 3, so I'll take it. I never really spent a lot of time in these zones, and now after experiencing the highs and lows of Safari Week shiny hunting, I can safely say that I might just hunt in these other zones for fun. Yep, you heard me. I plan to participate in more than just this one yearly event, because there are other events that happen to get shiny hunters together every single month. Safari Week was amazing though. It's so cool seeing such an inclusive and downright amazing community host something as fun as this. Thank you, Absolblox Pokemon, genuinely. The videos from other creators' experiences, especially those that get together in large groups, always fill me with a certain joy that only Pokemon and, of course, shiny hunting can give me. So while yeah, I was slightly disappointed at how the week ended for me, I think this only pushed me to find out just how much I enjoy this hobby. Which, spoiler alert, it's quite a lot.